Hey, what's up? It's me again. Doing a reaction video, commentary actually, on a certain segment that's going on with um, ABBA and talking to Azria the Amazon, and I think it's a very beneficial discussion for everyone. And no, this is not bashing single mothers, but I think it's a very good uh, segment to talk about. Talking about the truth about being single mothers. You have a lot of women who say they'd rather be single mothers than wives. And this one right here is about to show you the hardship of that choice. All right, so let's get into it.
Our video, you were also there during the live, but we were kind of talking about the topic, correct? Was, yeah. And for you, when you were there during the live, basically we were talking to a bunch of ladies who said that they wanted to raise a kid by themselves, and they were excited. I know that you yourself, you're a single mom, so I kind of wanted to get your perspective on it, because I feel like those kind of things are close. And so, what did you think about that whole discussion? People wanting to raise kids by themselves, their attitude in regards to, like, what did you think when you were looking? Well, at first I thought we need to put some more respect on our names because it's not easy at all. I don't know. There wasn't a single mom there that said that they would do that before. It was only people that didn't have any kids, right? Right. What is it? Because I hear like, oh, if you got a village, or Oh, I was gonna touch on that. Yes, that shit hurt the shit out of me. Okay, first of all, when we think about that whole what that means, it's like it's a different community. It's not like our Western community. When you say we have a village, it's completely different, right? They're intertwined and they're helping each other in a way that we North Americans don't do that. We're completely separated by our lives and our jobs and our homes and where we live, etc. So people might make the most promises to you when you got a little sucker in your stomach, but trust me, those 3 a.m. wake up calls and the postpartum depression and the colic babies that cry, your village is not going to be there. They're going to be sleeping because they have to go to work. You might want to be a single parent, right? But are you going to be single forever? Because it's just like, you think you're just going to decide to date and just bring somebody into your house and just like, okay, this is my child, love them. That's not how it works. There's complications and dynamics. It's not the same kind of love as if you're with a father. Well, but when I wanted to be in a relationship, the biggest issue is trying to bring everyone together because that person's not going to parent want to parent the way you want to. Your kid's not going to want this random ass man that all of a sudden you're in love. Okay, that ain't my fucking daddy though. Right? So that's real. But am I wrong? No, you're not. I'm gonna tell you, just to feel like, no, I got my dad's back. I'm gonna reject him outright because I'm loyal to my dad. No one's going.
That's exactly what it is. I mean, kids, the father's there in the kid's life, and you bring another man there. The kid's not gonna want to, respect that man. Who is this man? Who is this? Because that's somebody outside of the environment. That kid is not biologically that man's child. So that kid feels nothing for that man. This is where the problems come in. It's like, oh, you're not my daddy. I'm not gonna respect you. And that's how it goes. And it's a lot of people are not actually taking in consideration what are the pitfalls of being a single mother. It's not a game. Okay. And even with the men, I mean, she goes into that as well, that the men, it's a different type of love. I mean, when you're with a woman and she has a baby from another dude, all right, you may love that kid, but you will not be able to love that kid as much as you would love your own. Okay. I mean, me personally, I love kids. I don't. They're innocent. They haven't done anything. I mean, come on. No one asked. No one. They didn't ask to be here. They didn't ask to be here. Okay, but it would. I would have to have. Let's say being with a single mother, and she has a kid. I would have to show that. I would have to grow an extra couple inches within my heart, to have a bigger heart to love that kid. All right, let's keep going.
So sometimes there's even resentment that builds there where it like puts a strain on the person trying to come in, right? Exactly. And then he's gonna be like, listen, I ain't trying to freaking fight my whole life with this little motherfucker. I love you, not him. Right? Or her. So it's this thing, and then on top of that, you're dealing with responsibilities that person you're bringing in. They don't have those same responsibilities. It's not their kid. Mm-hmm. So you want to be, and I can go on forever. So you want to be working. You want to be a partner to this new partner. You want to be a parent that's fair and emotionally fulfilling. You want to be able to give back to yourself and have your own time. It's impossible to do that everything equally, even if you have the father there. So if you're by yourself, to think that you're going to be able to give yourself and your child everything. And here's the thing that the listeners like, yeah, I make a lot of money, so like, listen, oftentimes.
That's the thing. That's another thing too. Time. All right. Time is divided. Okay. You become a single parent, you have to put the kids first. All right. It's just an instinctual mentality in your head. You have to put those kids first. Sad to say, many don't do that. All right. Many don't. And it's scary. Okay. And some are just not prepared to do that. They think that, I could be a single mother. It's all right. No, it's one thing to say, but when you're in it, it's a whole different story. And that's when there's a cognitive dissonance. They want to be an individual, but still be a mother. You can't do that. Once you're a single mother, the kids come first. That is it.
The issue isn't even the money aspect. Sometimes it's just time. And that's what it is most of the time. I don't really hear kids too much being like, bitch, you didn't buy me Teddy Ruxpin. And but everything's, everything is always 80s. But yeah, you don't hear that. It's like, you weren't there. You didn't come to my prom or whatever. It's always the more fulfilling things that I think that kids have resentment for, I hear about the most. Sometimes it's money, but most of the time not. And you might be able to have all the money in the world, but guess what? You're at work making that money. With your kid. Right? And you're open to that. I'm speaking from the heart, Yeah. And then on top of that, you open up your child and they're more susceptible to vulnerabilities because, that's a babysitter, but criminal record checks don't mean shit, okay? Somebody's crazy and they've never been arrested before. What does that mean? A lot of times in court, when you hear about kids getting taken advantage of, it's about a third party that was brought into the home
And that is something else too. You have a lot of people, their kids get abused. These broken homes or single parent homes single mothers have a target on their back. Okay. You have a lot of men. Okay. You can't tell which are the good ones. You can't tell which ones are the perverts, and child predators usually prey on single mothers. Say whatever they want to hear, do whatever they want them to do, say the right words, and then they're in there, and then they end up, traumatizing their child. Worse, there's some single mothers that just ignore it because they're so lonely they want a man. These are the pitfalls of being a single mother. Your time is not your own anymore. That kid comes first. You are the protector of that child. If the father's not there in that kid's life. Okay. It's work. It's a lot of work and self-sacrifice. And you have to protect your kids from predators. There was a woman, she had a child, right? And she had a boyfriend. Boyfriend was not the child's father. And she came to have her kid, came to the guy's car and he was supposed to bring the kid with him, right? Bring the kid with him. He brings the kid with him. I'm sorry. The kid is dead, stiff as a corpse. When you're a single mother, there is no you time anymore. It's about that kid, and you have to watch that kid, who you bring that kid around. Okay, because I just did a story about a woman who someone trusted her with their son, and that woman was a derelict, left the kids in the car to go shopping in Walmart. One of the kids, her son, ended up getting the gun and accidentally shooting her friend's son. It's not a game.
The idea that the mother trusted them, whether it was a partner or a babysitter they hired or anything. And your child is vulnerable to complete strangers regardless of how much you trust them, So, and you're going to have to do that if you're going to be working and you're a single parent. So, yeah, it's just crazy to me. It's like, why take away? Like, I just don't understand what's better than one parent's love, two parents' love, right? So I don't get why you would actively. Sometimes shit happens. Like me, I had no business having a baby with the guy I chose. But why would you actively make that decision?
Yeah. What are some other struggles that you had for you with the mixed?
Okay, well, I was lonely as hell because when I had a baby and none of my friends had babies and they weren't, or they had babies and they had a partner, they had a lot more freedom than I did. So, and they don't want to come over to your house so that you'd be like, 1 second, I gotta pull my titty out, or 1 second, I gotta go do, they want to be around you when you're able to be there. So you spend a lot of time alone with your child, and it's a lot because your child's not, you might love your child, but they're not going to give you that adult one-on-one that you need, that what you need from other members of society. They're just like Paw Patrol. You know what I mean? So you're missing out on that. Then I had to earn money. I was on Ontario Works at first, but I was like, fuck this. So when I decided to go to school, I didn't sleep at all. So unless these ladies are completely, like, they're done with their career choice, then it's a horrible decision to be a single parent and try to get your career. And I lost my earning potential because I'm at home with my kid. And even though my job is still available to me, I don't get to have a repertoire with people that come in. Things change and I don't know what they are. People forget about you. Your boss, the connection you have with your boss is not as strong as it was before you left, because when you're gone for 2 years is a long ass time to not to be at a company. Yeah. And that's if everything runs smoothly with your child, because some children have disabilities that they're born with and other issues. They're expensive, they're draining, they require a lot. When I say a lot,
talk to them. Listen, okay. You got first-hand experience, so you can give tangible experience. So go ahead.
Listen, they don't sleep. It was very confusing. They say they sleep for 3 hours every hour, but if you are spending 1 hour breastfeeding, 1 hour birthing and trying to get them to bed, then they're really only sleeping for an hour. And that's time for you to wake up a grown-ass adult. And you can't say, babe, can you just take this? Can you just give me a bottle and you do with that? You're by yourself. Then you don't know. My daughter she had issues, like she was colicky, and she was. I had to take her to the hospital a couple of times for her own personal medical issues, and I did that by myself, And I was exhausted. And then when I decided to go to school, so basically you lose your sleep. So if you bitches like to sleep, it's over. And then you get resentment with them too, because I resented my daughter's father because I'm like, yo, this guy's free. He can do whatever he wants. Like, I didn't bother. I felt like it was my choice. You can't draw blood from a fucking stone. So I can waste all my time trying to take him to court. I know he ain't doing shit, right? So of course a bunch of resentment builds up, and then it will naturally, you will take it out on your child. I'm telling you right now, you won't realize it, but you're gonna snap on them. They're gonna get on your nerves, and it will be you won't have that release to be like, no, let me just chill for the day because I don't want to take it on me. You have to be there for them.
When you talk to other single parents, like, do they echo a lot of the same sentiments and issues that you mentioned?
Oh yeah, even worse. Yeah, absolutely. I'd be like, listen, I hate this little motherfucker. Like, I don't know. I feel terrible, but like, it's constant. It's incessant.
Sad to say, you have a lot of women that were just selfish and they want to be a single mother. They still want to be a single, even though they hear all the pitfalls. They want to be a single. They only think about themselves. It's sad to say you have a lot of women like that. They think about themselves alone, It's sad to say you have a lot of minority women who think this mindset, and then when it happens, now they're crying. Now they want to get mad. Worse is the fact that if they get with a man that doesn't make much and you want to take him to child support, you know you're not going to get much. Why are you doing that? Okay. And when she said, like, she had no business having, I'm not judging her, no business being with the man she's with. A lot of these single mothers, you want to get mad or resentful, but you're picking men that don't make enough to have a family. Don't make enough that if you were to marry and to settle down, you would be okay. The kid would be okay. And then you want to take it out by taking him to child support, knowing he doesn't make enough to pay the child support. Let's keep going.
They're just crying uncontrollably.
Hold on 1 minute. It's out the way. Their
body looks, their hormones are all messed up, because you have to think your body goes through the biggest change it's ever going to go through in its entire life, right?
That's another thing too. You got these women who, you know, they think that it's that they forget about pregnancy, they forget about the hormone changes, they forget about the postpartum depression, they forget about all those things. You know, you're a single mother, got off the pregnancy, and you have to go to work, and you have to deal with a kid that 2 a.m., 3 a.m. feedings, may not want to breastfeed, colicky. Don't think about this stuff.
And your kid's inside of you basically sucking the life out of you for 9 months. Right?
Yeah.
So when you have a baby, you are so tired. You're supposed to have that support system there so that you can, you know, bounce back.
Right.
When you don't have that, and you have all this other financial worries, just loneliness, whatever, you undoubtedly, it affects you mentally to the point where I've had parents can't get out of bed.
Right. Let me ask you. So you don't mind, your kid's how old at this point?
17, yeah.
She's 17. And have there been moments even now as she's grown older that have been maybe a bit awkward or difficult due to you being a single mom, or due to like just the situation with the father and stuff like that?
Yeah. Well, for me, for my daughter, the father, I don't, even though I have my issues with him, they're not her business, because like I chose him, so I don't talk shit about him, and I don't, like, if they want to see each other, that's fine. They have FaceTime, they talk, whatever, right? But I do know parents that are like, he ain't shit, what do you want to see him for? He ain't even give me $1, he ain't get it, you know what I mean? And so that can be awkward when you see kids like just sitting there watching their mom just badmouth the dad, and or just, you know, or even say like, I do everything for you, and you want more, and you know what I mean? It's like, well, if you chose the dad, you could have had more to give, and then you're mad at the kid because they want more from you that you can't give, because you're only one fucking person, right?
Right.
And what I've noticed is that when you make these decisions and you figure out that you decided it was a bad idea, your children make those decisions too. My mom was a single mother, and I'm a single mother, and I'm trying to stop it right now from my daughter being a single mother, but it goes down the line. Your decisions are generational, so you really need to think.
Rewind that for a second about the generational. Basically,
17. And have there been moments even now as she's grown older that have been maybe a bit awkward or difficult due to you being a single mom, or due to like?
Basically, she said it was a generational thing, you know, and it does happen even with men. Even with men, okay, when they make mistakes. I remember when O'Shea Duke Jackson was talking about his father talking to him about certain things. All right, about the way his father was on drugs, and then he got off, you know, and that he wasn't a good father, right? And he was telling O'Shea to stop that generational curse. All right, it's the same, you know, our actions, you know, they do affect people around us, and they do affect our kids, and they do go down the family line. Like, there's women who have nothing but a family of divorcees. Like, the family's nothing but women, and they've all been divorced. Okay. I remember looking at a YouTube comment section. She was talking about how she didn't like the way her mother dogged out her dad after divorcing him, and she swore to herself that she would not be like her mother. And now she's a submissive wife, and she cooks for her husband, cleans for her husband. Okay, and she broke the generational curse within her family. I really have a lot of respect for Azria, the Amazon, for what she's saying right here. Very few women don't have the guts to say what she has, what she has said, and probably will call her a pick me, but she's a woman that's winning. You know, I do believe that people can change if they want to change and they want to do better for their lives. And that's what she's doing. Too bad a lot of us won't learn. Okay, keeping it going.
My friends call me sometimes and be like, listen, I hate this little motherfucker. Like, I don't know, I feel terrible, but like, it's constant, it's incessant. They're just crying uncontrollably. They hate the way their body looks. Their hormones are all messed up. Because you have to think, your body goes through the biggest change it's ever going to go through its entire life, right? And your kids inside of you basically is sucking the life out of you for 9 months. Right?
Yeah.
So when you have a baby, you are so tired. You're supposed to have that support system there so that you can, bounce back.
Right.
When you don't have that, and you have all this other financial worries, just loneliness, whatever, you undoubtedly, it affects you mentally to the point where I've had parents can't get out of bed.
Right. Let me ask you. So you don't mind, your kids how old at this point?
17, yeah.
17. And have there been moments even now as she's grown older that have been maybe a bit awkward or difficult due to you being a single mom or due to like just the situation with the father and stuff like that?
Yeah. Well, for me, for my daughter and her father, I don't, even though I have my issues with him, they're not her business because like I chose him. So I don't talk shit about him, and I don't, like, if they want to see each other, that's fine. They have FaceTime, they talk, whatever, right? But I do know parents that are like, he ain't shit. What do you want to see him for? He ain't even give me $1. He ain't get it. You know what I mean? And so that can be awkward when you see kids like just sitting there watching their mom just badmouth the dad, and or just or even say like, I do everything for you, and you want more, and you know what I mean? And it's like, well, if you chose the dad, you could have had more to give, and now you're mad at the kid because they want more from you that you can't give. There's only one fucking person, right?
Right.
And what I've noticed is that when you make these decisions and you figure out that you decided it was a bad idea, your children make those decisions too. My mom was a single mother, and I'm a single mother, and I'm trying to stop it right now from my daughter being a single mother, but it goes down the line. Your decisions are generational. So you really need to think about what it is that you're doing at that time.
Okay, I find that interesting. So you said, what is it about the way that your mom raised you that you think primed you more likely to be in this scenario, in your opinion?
Two things. One, I was observant and I noticed what was going on at whatever time. And two, she didn't talk to me about it, right? So if my mom had been like, listen, girl, I love you, but this was hard. And I suggest that we didn't have that discussion. So for me, you just want to emulate your mom, or if things happen to you that did happen to your mother, you feel like, no big deal, my mom did it, right? So it's super important for maybe, because a lot of these kids, or these women that were talking in your chat, they said that their moms are single moms and their moms did a great job, but did they talk to their moms about the nuances and what was like really going on maybe behind the scenes and how their mother felt at that time and the depression she might have gone through? Because we don't always share everything because we feel like we're going to hurt our kids, right? So you're not getting the full scoop when you say, oh, my mom was single mom, I could do it. Yeah. You don't know how many nights she cried by herself, how stressed out she was. Maybe she went hungry sometimes so that you could eat, but you didn't even notice that shit. You know what I mean? Or depression she might have had because she feels like, I can't be the woman that I thought I could be because I made this. You know what I mean?
I'll confess this to you, but that's always one of those things where I'm like, I feel like as a parent, you inherently have to sacrifice a lot of your own.
And he's right. He's right. And a lot of things with the mothers, a lot of them probably are not going to tell the truth about what happened, what they went through, what they had to do. They're probably not, because it's embarrassing and they have too much pride, and unfortunately put toxicity in their kids to have that type of pride, to not really break that cycle. Like, listen, I did things I'm not proud of, to make sure you were okay. Perfect example, Black China's mother, Tokyo Tony, she said some things like let's just say she sold her body to make sure her kid had school supplies. Let's put it that way. To make sure she had things that she had to do. Some single mothers are doing that. Okay? Not trying to bash or but that's just how bad it can get when a woman's a single mother and they don't have much resources or support. That's how bad it could get to what they have to do to support their kids and make sure their kids are provided for.
Well-being in order to make sure that your kid is good. But sometimes it's almost to a degree that's unfair when you're a single parent. I think all parents have to sacrifice. But for single parents, even more so. You know, your own, and a lot of people, I think, don't understand what that burden looks like and what they're signing up for when they're making the choice so casually. So to me, it's not just like, don't necessarily do it. To me, it's like, if you're going to do it, understand what you're getting into. And most people don't.
Casual. Exactly. That's what it is. It's just like you're not really understanding. And for it to be that casual, that shows that you are not going to be that good of a parent that you think you are, or else it wouldn't be a casual decision. Like, it's sorry to make you feel bad, but if you actually think about it, I'm going to love my kids and give them everything. Why would you not want to multiply that to two?
Yeah, I completely get that. Okay.
Yeah, it just, and I did have resentment towards my daughter, absolutely. And I don't know if it showed. I'm sure I had my days where I'm just like, I wanted my alone time. Like, listen, when she made her first bowl of cereal by herself, I was so fucking happy. You know, that was like my.
That's basically, what they that's basically what it's sad, but that's how it is when you young or not prepared and you become a single parent. You're just happy for them to do things on their own without your assistance because they want their alone time. It sucks, but that is the truth. Okay. And I do hope that, women watching this video will understand.
It's just like
they understand that, hold on 1 minute. That's exactly what she said. Everything is on you as the single parent. And a lot of women don't understand that, but you want to enter this realm of single, you want to enter this course, this path of misery that many women don't come out of. They don't come out of it. They don't. A lot of them, their kids end up being in CPS or they end up going to prison because they're too irresponsible and they don't have the mental maturity to handle being a single mother. They still want to be being blatantly honest. They want to be the bad bitch but still be a mother. It doesn't work that way. One has to die for the other to live. That's just the way it is.
Right? It's a whole human that doesn't know how to do shit. Fathers are awesome, man. If you can pick the right father, you gotta take some accountability. You can't pick guys that don't want to do shit and don't care about the fact that you're having a baby, and then when you make a decision to be with him, it turns to shit. Now I hate every man, and I'm gonna, take your time. But I would, even to this day, as a 39-year-old woman, if I could have a father that had his shit together, right, that would love me, give me that love that only a father can give, I would take it any day.
All right, well, listen, I think we had a really good back and forth about this. I appreciate it. And I'm glad you came on as a correspondent. Anytime I have anything you want to chime in on, just hit me up and we can see if we can set that up.
So that's basically it. Okay, that's basically it of the commentary I have. And hope you enjoyed it. I really do. Okay, because basically this is what it is. And unfortunately, you'll have feminism telling you could do it. You could be a single mother. Don't listen to these men. These men, they want to shame you. They want to oppress you. Unfortunately, you're going to have women who hear all the facts from one woman speaking about her own personal experience. And there are other women who have their own personal experience suffering being a single mother. And they will still push the narrative. you can be a single mother. No matter the facts, no matter the consequences, you could still be a single mother. The blind leading the blind. Well, this is it, and I hope you enjoyed the this commentary. All right. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Later.